trickled through the nylon. 15 now for Morris.
And Garrett Temple, one of the great shot blockers in LSU's in the top 10 in that category as a guard, but couldn't block that one from Morris.
Here's Temple. He's scoreless today. Will remain that way for a moment. And a foul against LSU with 2:09 to play. That'll go against Randolph. That'll be his third. Boy, Randolph's been quiet offensively.
Here's a nice steal. Jumping out into the passing lane goes Tim Morris, and Garrett Temple attacking him, trying to get that shot block. Got a piece of it, but Morris still able to have the strength to get that shot down. And now Washington, a poor foul shooting team, they have to come up with some clutch ones here down the stretch to hold on to this lead.
Yeah, they are last in the Pac-10 in free throw shooting, 59% as a club. Detman, the junior, knocks them both down.
2 clutch foul shots from Detman. Washington holding on back to their 9-point edge.
Yeah, 6-0 run by the Huskies. They could add to that with this 2-on-1. Here's Smith to the trailer. Pondexter bobbled the ball, but now Washington can take
that clock.
Exactly, and a reach-in foul against Garrett Temple.
Well, the Washington defense has come up again. Their defensive intensity has returned.
30-second timeout by LSU.
In the pickpocket, is Joel Smith able to slap it away, the spin move there, and Smith able to slip in and just take it right away from the LSU offensive player and start the fast break. Washington almost turned it over, and now they retain possession. They'll go to the line.
Well, we gave you a couple options on the Dodge drive of the game, Barry, but how about the forward edge of your seat play of the game? We're going to give you a couple of options as well. How about the 3 right there by Appleby that gave Washington the lead? Or actually, we're going to make that.
That's your only choice. It's your only choice right there.
I told him in the truck, I said, you know what, let's just go with the Appleby thing and just be done with it. Our game summary, Pondexter with 17 points, Thornton with 18. For LSU, but the Tigers continue the second half slump in terms of shooting the basketball. I mentioned earlier the last 2 games combined 35% from the field, and today in the second half 33%.
The Huskies with their largest lead as they pump it to double figures, now up 11.
It is the largest lead of the game, and it comes at a really good time if you're a Husky fan. They trailed by 14 in Washington at the break.
Very impressive by the Huskies to compete, to come out here and not quit against a tough and athletic LSU opponent. These Washington Huskies have fought back, played very good defense here in the second half to fight their way back into the game. LSU made a couple of charges, got it done defensively, got things going with their defense, but have not been able to overcome these Huskies.
Here's Morris. That turnover will give it back to LSU with 75 seconds to play.
The Tigers will have to go quickly, and maybe this is the time to start settling for those 3-point shots. They've got to score in bunches.
Brockman just rips the board down. He's got 11, another double-double for Brockman.
Washington working on the game clock as it's inside a minute. The Huskies now with a double-digit lead and in great shape to try and pick up a road win here in Baton Rouge.
Off the iron, and then a foul going for the basketball on Tim Morris. That is only the 4th team foul against Washington. So no harm on that foul by Morris.
An almost flawless second half by the Washington Huskies. They have scored 33 points so far in the second half, or 43 points so far in the second half, excuse me, and held LSU to only 18.
Tough shot by Terry Martin. Timeout taken by LSU with 28 seconds to play. 30-second timeout taken by LSU. But with that timeout, that'll clear out the building.
And as long as Washington does not help the LSU Tigers out, they're going to hold on for a road win.
Well, this Washington team picked 8th in the Pac-10. And right now they sit with a 7-4 record. Washington State has been the team of choice to this point, sitting at 4th in the latest rankings. UCLA with just 1 loss, but they're the real deal. They'll be there down the stretch. I mean, it's going to be a nice race in the Pac-10. I think Arizona, despite the fact that Lute Olson is taking the year off, turned over the reins to Kevin Stallings, the former Tennessee head coach.
Kevin O'Neal.
Kevin O'Neal. Yes, right. Kevin Stallings at Vanderbilt. Got my Kevins mixed up, but that'll be interesting to see how that team plays out once they get into league play.
Yeah, that is a very difficult league, and it's real interesting. I like how they go on the road, and like they play in groups. Washington will go on the road and they'll play Oregon and Oregon State. They'll go to UCLA and USC, Arizona and Arizona State, and play Thursday, Saturday games. Really interesting approach, and the teams in the Pac-10 do it that way, and it makes for a lot of excitement.
Back to an 11-point lead for this LSU team as Martin goes to the baseline, kicks it in off the window. No timeouts left for LSU, so all they can do is foul, and that's exactly what they did with 17 seconds left. But LSU, after this one, Barry, they have to go not too far, but they'll play at Tulane, then they go to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And then they open up league play. I mean, this is not a that's not an easy thing for this young club to deal with.
Talked to Coach Brady about that schedule, and he knows that this is just too difficult to schedule for this young team. But the way things change so quickly, in LSU coming off a Final Four year in 2006, they're feeling like, hey, our program's really coming along. We can handle scheduling tough games, and you just don't know what you're going to have 2 years down the road.
That'll do it. The dunk by Johnson gives him 19, but the final score here in Baton Rouge, 73-65. Washington pulls off the victory. They were down 14, Barry, at the break, and they end up winning it by 8. I mean, that's a pretty good performance by the Huskies. But on the flip side of that, where does LSU go?
Oh, man, this is just a heart.